We are back with us, the ladies who watch SNL. I am Deej Behrens.
And I am Shari Fesco.
And I'm Demi Constantine.
And we are your Saturday ladies. Just past the halfway point of the SNL UK first seasons, we are in episode 5, which was broadcast on April 25th, 2026, with Nicola Coughlan and the Foo Fighters. A note with the Foo Fighters, they're the first musical group to appear on both SNL US and SNL UK. The Foo Fighters, I mean, how could you not have fun? How could you not have fun with the Foo?
Lore. SNL lore.
Get your big dumb cup, put on your big dumb hat. Let's talk about SNL UK. Cold Open is Who Wants to Remain a Millionaire? Featuring George as Sir Keir Starmer, having a very difficult time on the show, asked one all-important question, UK context moments. Al plays presenter Jeremy Clarkson, who is an actual TV presenter, been doing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, which was the first iteration of the global show since 2018, one of the presenters on the first series of Top Gear. When he's introduced himself as a fake farmer, the context for this is he's done a show called Clarkson's Farm since 2021, where he buys a farm and tries to basically run it. And he has named the farm the Diddley Squat Farm to indicate its lack of productivity. It's interesting that they have him doing this with Keir Starmer because he has been quite critical of Keir Starmer. So there's only one question for him. Is it ever a good idea to give Peter Mendelsohn a job? Options are A, no. B, of course not. C, not in a million years. D, yes. In his Keir Starmer way is having some difficulty, and he uses all the different lifelines. Eventually comes down to one answer, which is D, yes. And then he asks for a 50-50, which is one of the lifelines, and then the Never in a Million Years comes up, and he still picked yes. There is also an appearance by Peter as played by Larry Dean. It's a good play with the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire format, and one of the things I really love is, as has been played by George Fouracres, that Keir Starmer is very kind of wishy-washy.
Would I make the same decision again, knowing what I know now? Quite possibly.
I love his George Fouracres, Keir Starmer. Al Nash has a really, even a speaking voice with this. He has a really, really resonant voice, which I can't help it. I'm a sucker for a good voice. He did very well with this. They both played well. So they still have a little bit of two-hander. So, Shari, we're going to get your input right and now.
Yeah, I mean, you said it really perfectly, Deej. This was a lot of fun. I didn't know much about Peter Mendelsohn, but fortunately they talked a little bit about him on Update, so I got a little bit of context after the fact. The basic bozo politician that shouldn't be in office.
Yeah, and possible pedophile.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the pedophile part. How could I forget that? It's just funny how we have so many similarities, all the different governments in all the different countries, the same kind of screw-ups and mistakes and dumb decisions, and I don't know, pedophilia is beyond any of that. But anyways, I hate to say that I find it comforting, because I don't, but I guess it's good to know we're not the only pathetic country out there. England isn't doing so great either. So this was funny. I, of course, was familiar with Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. It's been around forever here in the States. And I thought, yeah, like Deej said, it was such a good two-hander, and everybody was on point. It was a great cold open. They are killing SNL US with their cold opens. They're so far superior.
Yeah, I really enjoy the skewering that they're going for. It's a little sharper and a little more incisive than American. Like they talk about, I don't think anyone on SNL has brought up, I don't think anyone on SNL said Jeffrey Epstein. That can't be right. But they've done it or referenced around him a lot closer on SNL UK. It's been kind of exhilarating to watch. So the fact that Keir Starmer's job was on the line because he knowingly hired Peter Mandelson after he'd been linked with Jeffrey Epstein, and then there had been a possibility of state secrets exchanged. These are all, Impeachable offenses, I don't think they impeach in the UK, though. The fact that they made it into a game show complete with trenchant, I'm assuming, UK references, because I didn't know who Must Have Been started in the UK, and I'm not familiar with the host, but it seemed like a very specific kind of impression, and the crowd loved it. So a really clever send-up. They continue to thread a really, really small needle where they are making fun of people in power and their power system without trashing them as a joke completely. I don't know if it's unique to them or what. They do a really good job.
The cold open does not overstay its welcome. So if there's anything that SNL US can learn, study the cold opens. They don't overstay. They get right to the point, and we just got to get on with the show. We do not need overextended cold opens. Monologue. He discovers the magic of hosting Saturday Night Live with a surprise appearance by Jimmy Fallon. We don't know how this happened or why this happened. I don't know if he was in the UK at the time. I don't know, but hey, he was there. Talks to her about the magic of SNL and how it's live, that he does the whole, you don't have to stay on the stage. Jimmy Fallon has done a few monologue where he's going all around the studio. Before that, one of the ways that Nicola says she prepared, she has done a staggering amount of cocaine. I liked the callbacks to her appearance on the first episode. The Educate Yourself comes back, and then Jimmy saying that none of this is real, which is from the first 45 seconds with George Fouracres. There's little background things, because I don't know if they've really established what they've established for SLUS. You don't have the llama and the Lincoln, but you got a couple of beefeaters back there. But as they're getting towards the stage, the cocaine is really kicking in. Look to the left. It's a stage head or someone holding up a sign that says, "Don't do drugs," because we want to make sure they're not promoting anything. And the one thing that got me at the end when Hamad was coming down to figure out why they are on stage. And as they're going, Hamad's doing this like speed walking wiggle walk that's just absolutely adorable. I don't think there's any cast member I dislike. Some I enjoy more than others, but yeah, he is definitely a favorite. And he just seemed very joyful wiggling down the corridor.
Yes, I love this monologue. She just seems like she loves the show. She has such a reverence for the original show. I hope they have her on. That would be really cool if they had her on the US. She's certainly doing plenty of TV on Netflix, so we're all familiar with her. She's probably one of my favorite hosts. Even if this wasn't my favorite episode, I think she might be one of my favorite hosts. She had such a natural ability. And, I know this is very divisive. Jimmy Fallon is very divisive. You either love him to bits or he kind of annoys you. I'm in the kind of annoyed camp. So I don't have any problems with him.
Let's go, Shari. Let's hear it.
I don't have problems with him. I think he's fine on late night. I never loved him on SNL. I never disliked him, but I do not really care for him that much. I was not that thrilled to see him on. I wish other cast members had been there. But I'm sure he's a lovely guy, and he does seem to be having fun. I think he got a kick out of coming to SNL UK, and he does love the show, so I will give him that. So all in all, I love the monologue, even if he does bug me.
I echo a lot of that. It's very much like, I think the most charitable way to interpret the reaction to Jimmy Fallon's appearance, cameo, surprise appearance, was disappointed little sibling, like, oh my God, can you let us do anything? Like, we're out, we got it, we don't need to, come on. But like Shari says, he does offer a certain bona fides kind of official seal of anything that I don't think they wanted. He was very much there in a suit, ready to go. I remember Jimmy Fallon came on the scene for SNL US, SNL proper, I guess. I remember when he came on the scene and he was really young and really cute. Like, he was really cute. He was always on the, on the subway, like do Weekend Update and like acting like a fraternity boy pretty much. I really liked all of his sketches, like with Justin Timberlake and stuff. They're great. And then he went to late night and he took over Conan's old show. So I was like already like, okay, well, all right. And then he took over Conan's new show because he became a host of The Tonight Show, which I think for that, a lot of people will never forgive him for that. And I can understand, but Conan is so superior. I don't waste my time worrying about it. That being said, he's doing his job. He's a talk show host. I really wish there'd be some late night books comparing his tenure with Johnny Carson, because even I remember Johnny Carson seemed to be universally beloved, even though he was very much kind of a company man, like he wasn't quirky, he wasn't weird. He played it straight down the middle for the most part. I was pretty young, but I remember Jay Leno a lot more than Johnny Carson. But I don't understand, like, a general backswell, groundswell of negativity around Jimmy Fallon, regardless of the area, unless it's on his specific show, doing his show, and the people are watching his show, which I don't watch. I watch Kimmel instead.
To be correct, though, Jimmy Fallon didn't really have any involvement with the whole Conan Late Show thing. That was between him and Jay Leno, and a bit of David Letterman, too.
Oh, I remember.
There are great books out there regarding the whole scandal and how things worked out. It's a very interesting late night story, so I blame all that on Jay Leno. I rather like Jimmy Fallon. The other shows he's done, like Think Battle, was one of the ones he's done, and I mean, who could forget Tom Holland doing Umbrella, branching off to other things in production. The one thing that people were really down on was him breaking. So
I never had a problem with that, really. Like, he did it a lot, but I didn't like count on him to do it. So I know that's not really like the popular opinion. Everyone just like, oh my God, he's breaking on purpose. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I like the sketches he went in, and they didn't really ruin them.
What he said is, you're laughing at the stuff because it's funny. It's great, but if you're just breaking just to try and give the bad sketch a boost, then that's not good. First, pre-tape, the magical faraway tree rap. And this is an actual thing, is a book series by Enid Blyton, who also wrote the Naughty Books, who is another well-known staple of children's English literature and stop-motion animation. The magical faraway tree was released in the UK on March 27th. I guess that's probably why she's hosting, because she's promoting it. So this very much Natalie's rap inspired, and it's a children's film, but she's being completely 100% dirty. A detail some may have missed, if you look to the back right, there's a poster from Hot Streak.
Oh, great catch, Deej. Fucking sucked.
The reactions between George and Celeste as the executives. The last bit she did, the second to last she did was on how good the catering was, and that another time we get another bit of Jimmy Fallon, because he has been known to rap. I mean, his one part in Do It in My Twin Bed, always been epic. I love the one song he did with Will.i.am. A recurring sketch on The Tonight Show is Ew with Sarah. And that's Sarah with no H, because H's are ew. And the song is called Ew. She does offer one more verse about her relationship with Keith from Onset Catering. It's like, nope, we don't need to hear that. Yeah, I knew that was going to be explicit. Great rapping from Nicola. She's a great all-around performer, especially in the next sketch we're talking about. I get so much Melissa McCarthy vibes from her. Totally different, but still kind of similar until she's just throwing herself into completely everything. And that's all you can really ask about an SNL host.
Oh, that Melissa McCarthy comparison was perfect, Deej. It didn't dawn on me till you said it. Yeah, absolutely. She's got this subtle sweetness to her, just like Melissa, but then she gets raunchy, like she does here. And I thought she was spectacular. This Enid Blyton is huge in England, and we get a lot of like English, European folks who moved to Michigan who ask us for these books, and they're old and they're really hard to find. I don't know why they're hard to find, because they're super popular in England, but for whatever reason, over here in the US, you can't find them. Her books have been mentioned twice. This sketch, and I think in a couple of episodes ago, or maybe that's an upcoming one, Kids on a Boat. That's another one of her books. She's mentioned twice in these 8 episodes, so you know she's a big deal. I'm curious about the movie. I have a feeling it might be a little bit of a hot mess, but maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm sure she's great in it. Fallon does rap well. As Deej said, the twin bed bit is one of my favorite things that he's done. He can actually rap. He's not bad. I will give him credit there. And yeah, this was a great way to kick off. This was a really strong pre-tape. Very, very funny. Very much shades of Natalie's rap. And so, yeah, this was an enjoyable little appetizer.
Yeah, a very, very strong shades of Natalie's rap. Yeah, Melissa McCarthy comparison is a good one. Like Nicola, is it Nicola or Nicola? That is Nicola?
Like Nicola. Nicola.
Yeah. Nicola. Okay, got it. I'm just kidding. Very eager. She seems like she is very game, but like wasn't like, I'm gonna be the funny one in all the sketches. Like she was just really like game for whatever was gonna happen, much like Melissa McCarthy. I've not seen any of her work. I've never seen Bridgerton. What is The Midwives? Get the Midwife, I think, is on PBS, maybe BBC.
Dairy Girls.
Dairy Girls. Okay, The Midwife's a different show. Dairy Girls, that's right. Really eager and really willing to play a variety of different roles in the sketches, as we'll see throughout the evening.
A live sketch called What a Life magazine. Morrison's 71st best-selling bi-monthly publication faces a crisis. And the solution is always Paula from accounts. Ayade, Celeste, George, Jack, and Nicola as the famed Paula from accounts. This is where the Melissa McCarthy comparison really locks in. What a Life magazine is not a thing. I did look that up. 3 hours to publication, and they usually go to Paula from accounts of all the things she has done because she has like a bit of a life.
Did you get up to much last night?
Oh, you know, dinner, telly, having sex with my neighbour's ghost.
Oh, that's lovely. What's his name?
Frank died of fatty liver disease 14 years ago. His favourite drink was liquidated pork.
And do you guys have good chemistry?
Oh, as much as any woman and the ghost of a dead Argos manager can. You know, he reads me the catalogue after we've made love. I like the toaster page.
The way this is like the absolutely brilliant character. I would love to have her host again and do this character. Weird things like she's had 47 anal probes. She once had a allergic reaction to chlorine that made her look like Anthony Costa from Blue. UK context moment. Blue is a British boy band that was created in 2002. Their first single was All Rise, and I have the first album, and it's really good, especially All Rise. Very good song. They also represented the Eurovision in 2011. From this around the late 90s, early 2000s girl group boy band phase, especially in the UK. She's on to them.
Oh, I knew it. You are putting me in your magazine again.
We're not, Paula. We never have.
Oh, come off it. Do you think I was born yesterday? I saw last month's. Remember? When I grew an extra mouth after spilling baby oil on me chin.
She ends up she has her foot stuck in a bucket of cement she won't let them take a picture of, and then she comes back with triplets all of a sudden, not knowing she's pregnant, and then the alien. So a little bit of the character from the Close Encounters, a lot of Melissa McCarthy with just a slight coating of Kate McKinnon.
Here. I mean, again, very much shades of Melissa. Very much. I mean, Deej, brilliant observation. As soon as it came out of your mouth, I was like, yeah, that's totally right. And certainly in this sketch, this was definitely I could totally see Melissa playing this character. The stories just get more and more and more ridiculous. And so the elevation is definitely, or the escalation is definitely there. This was one of my favorite sketches. The first two were just bangers. The pre-tape we just talked about in this were just absolutely perfect showcases for Nicola. So very, very, very funny. Liked all the efforts of the cast. It was kind of hard they were definitely playing second fiddle to her, but they weren't trying to one-up her in any way. They were being support, which is terrific when the cast can do that. Support the host. And that's exactly what they did. And that's what made this sketch so awesome.
Yeah, the shades of Close Encounters of the Third kind of definitely picked up on that. And agreed, she owned the space, she owned the bit.
Pre-tape number 2. Commercial promoting the ShipSafe bag organizer takes a turn when people start to advertise a new product called the Big Horrid Clump. I love the way this starts. Have Celeste and Emma just talking about, I can't find anything in my purse. And Les goes on about, this is how everything gets organized. And all of a sudden, Annabelle Marlowe, as a waitress, comes by and just slams her head on the table to say, not for you, bitch. Bag organizers are so big and clumsy. It makes you think like you think you're better than me, which you're not. There's context again. There's a mention of used plasters, is what they call Band-Aids. Any woman who's had a purse, you have had that big clump, depending on the purse that you're in. You can never find the stuff you want. And I love the obscurity of things they're talking about in their purses, or saying, and yogurt. Oh, I hope that's yogurt. Takes another turn where the clump becomes sentient and dangerous. And at the end, we have a security hammer static fade out. If you don't know what's happened to them, as someone who loves the organization but has also had many, many horror clumps in my purses, oh, this was so good.
Again, I hate to be a broken record, but totally echoing what Deej said. I am a woman who always has a clump in her purse of receipts, change, gum. I mean, I won't paint you a picture. But,
No, keep
but it's
going,
very
Shari.
similar.
Tell us about your clump. Keep going.
It's very similar to the clumps in this sketch. Such a battle we women have. You have stuff and you don't know what to do with it, so you dump it in the purse. So this definitely, I'm right with Deej. This totally resonated with me. It's funny how some issues are international. Everybody can relate. And this was definitely one of them. Awesome. I also really enjoyed it. And the cast was terrific. I loved all their facial expressions. I loved Emma City with her broken nose. It was just stellar stuff. Lots and lots of fun.
Okay, this was my second favorite of the night. I can go on and on as someone, as a woman who uses a purse. The clump is all too familiar because it's basically your purse is like a functional walking junk drawer, but you never know. You never know.
I never thought of it that way. That is fucking brilliant, Debbie. High five, cross the country high five to you.
International high five for women. Yeah. So, but also stuff in there is stuff that most people need, and they're like, who has it? And the person with the biggest purse has it. So, in perpetuity, it's never going to go away because it might be useful sometime. So, and it usually is, at least daily. And also, growing up as a child, watching infomercials for purse organizers, I was always like, what kind of a life is that? Does that mean you're an adult and you need an organizer for your purse? Isn't that the organizer? Like, I couldn't understand it, but I knew somebody did. I was like, when will I have these problems and be an adult? And then you get to be an adult. And purse organizers don't do anything. We all know purse organizers are just one more layer in the bag. In the junk drawer, it's just one more thing. It's like, it doesn't help you at all. And like, none of those organizers ever helped. So they're a scam. Don't get them. I don't know who they're for suckers. I'll tell you this much. But also what I love about this commercial this combines commercials on SNL or SNL UK that devolve into parallel universes that involve demons and inanimate objects attacking you. Stick it in my veins. It's my favorite thing ever. I love it. So when the clump escaped and turned into a pseudo face hugger, like from Alien, I was like, this feels so right. So this got top marks for me. I love how we all love different things about it. Purse clump forever.
And the trouble I have with my purse is I like ones of a few layers of pockets, and I always keep thinking to myself, okay, this will permanently live in this section. This will permanently live in this section, and that never sticks. Never sticks.
Every time.
Oh,
I have a system. I'm going to follow it.
yes. It's getting a little bit better with my current purse. It's just I've had to change the location of my Zeiss glasses wipes to several different pockets. It's a mess. And we return to the studio. The QVC jewelry store. A brand ambassador, Emma City, very brilliantly, gets interrupted by freakishly weird problems with her hands. Nicola and Nayade are the hostesses of this QVC segment, and they're talking about jewelry and rings. And the first thing you see is a very, very long finger. She doesn't know how she got it, or she's been trying to fix it. But as things go on, there's something happening with her right hand that's new. The physical comedy in this, and the escalation, the reactions from Kla and Iowade, and the star of this sketch, Emma City. She is another woman I really love on this show. It's a nice, different take on the home shopping segment like they do on SNL US. Those ones are more focused on a product that can look kind of something dirty or sexual, whereas this is just, I have to go out and promote this jewelry stuff, but this long finger, we have no idea what's going on. Made me laugh quite a bit. Brilliance of everyone involved, especially big props to Emma. She just killed it.
Again, agree. Since the beginning, when we did our first original impressions of the show, I talked about Emma. She is a gem. Been on the comedy scene a long time over there, and she's so phenomenally talented. She has such a sweetness and charm to her. But then again, she can bring it home with these like raunchy deliveries like she did as the bra in the bra sketch at the very beginning was Tina Fey, an absolute star. I'm so happy that she agreed to be on the show because she's not as green as the rest of them. And she just shines here, pulling off this physical comedy can be very difficult to do, especially when you're dealing with a fake finger and a fake hand. But she makes you believe that they're real. And that is the greatest compliment I can give. And very good teamwork to the other two as the hostesses, to Nicola and Ayati. They do a great job. All in all, this keeps the momentum going. I very much enjoyed it. Got a good couple chuckles out of it.
No, I love this. I love that Ayati got some screen time and she had a pretty sizable role. So that was good to see that she was playing an ensemble, kind of ensemble, pseudo ensemble. And the physical comedy of the hand that kept getting grosser and grosser.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
What's wrong with that hand?
I don't know! What do you mean you don't know? Sorry, I don't know. So with this hand, yes, I was aware. This one, no.
And they don't know what to do because they're asking this question that we're all asking, what is wrong with your hand? What's happening? And the sketch doesn't really break the fourth wall or the third wall, whatever it was, but it didn't happen. And they continue to let the show keep going as if it was really the show, which was kind of a delicious tension. So I liked it. It's my third favorite, really.
Weekend update. For stars Anya and Patty pick through a few jokes. One in regards to Mendelsohn with this line, and then go, imagine your colleague is a massive creep, but you keep on working with him anyway to keep the job. We call this the Matt Lucas dilemma. Matt Lucas is a British comedian, most famous for the series Little Britain. Yeah, so it's Matt Lucas and David Williams. Anthony Stewart Head has made it, R.I.P., has made a few appearances on that as a British Prime Minister. So apparently, Matt Lucas is not probably the best person to work with. Iran conflict has caused a condom shortage. I don't know why I said it like that. That just came out. Patty says, I don't mind having a condom shortage because I have a penis shortage. And then he looks so sad, which is one of his trademarks, his reactions and facial expressions. Either be really cheeky. In this case, he's like, "Oh, I'm so sad. I just want to hug him." There's a brief appearance by a marathon runner who comes in, grab a cup of water, and just runs off. So very blink and you'll miss it, but it was there. King Charles was talking about his mother, Queen Elizabeth, because this year would have been her 100th birthday. Says that his late mother would have been troubled by much in the modern world, because in the modern world, she's dead. Oh, Patty, we love you so much. Back with Emma City. I love this woman because she is me. The woman who can't be ignored. It was hard to really pick out individual lines from her that really encapsulated this, but we know that kind of woman who is just basically big out there. When she started off with the opening of Big Spender, she was loud and proud and woman. And Emma, you do great with these broad characters. And quite literally in this case, a broad character. I've watched this a number of times, and she actually comes back later this season, which is great. So I really hope they keep bringing her back. End update with another edition of Hand in Hand, but in this case, it's Hand in Hand with Jimmy Fallon. And they're talking about the bridge between SNL UK, or between the US and the UK. I love Patty's line of,
we're just two hosts sat next to a more famous host asking him to boost our ratings.
Speaking English, and it's with a little bit of effort you could learn to speak English from Anna, I think. There's one little bit where they're talking about where Patty does a great Trump, Jimmy does a great Mick Jagger, and Anya can do a duck. Quack. So with that, what they were trying to do with this at the end was, we're going to call this Codependence Day. Take that, World Malaria Day. And then Anya does a quack at the end. The little quack thing was like the cutest thing ever. Because obviously, I guess she's not an impressionist, so hey, we can still do an impression of a duck. Weekend update. Oh, wonderful as always. Please give me more women who can't be ignored.
Again, this is, keeping with the theme. I agree with everything Deej said. I loved Emma's Woman Who Can't Be Ignored. Deej and I have discussed the fact that we are sisters from different misters, and it's really true. because I, like her, am a woman who likes attention. I'm a little louder. I dance to my own music, beat my own drum. And yeah, so I really like DJ. I really related to this. People always want to put us in a box. I say, fuck you to that. I don't swear a lot, but don't put us in a box. DJ and I are fabulous. We're loud and boisterous and fun and awesome. And I love that Emma was sticking up for all of us women that have been told we need to be quiet and behave. We don't need to be quiet. We don't need to behave. We need to be ourselves.
Never tell us to effing smile. I ain't smiling if I don't fucking want to. That is the worst.
Agreed. I mean, I'm not saying neither of us is ever, I don't think we're ever rude. We're both very polite women. But you know what? We also are going to say our feelings when shit ain't working out and when we don't agree with it. So I love this. I loved Emma. I love Emma so much. My favorite part of the update, but I did love Hand in Hand in Hand. Jimmy was great here. This was a good use of Jimmy. Just a little bit of Jimmy goes a long way. And this was just right. And I love the sitting next to a lesser known of boosting the ratings because I'm sure it did. Very fun update. I love Anya. I love Patty. And I usually really like the correspondence. I thought Emma was one of the best they've had. Just very funny. And like I said, maybe because I related to her so much. I won't say I'm an attention whore, but I'm an attention needing person. So yeah, very, very, very fun. This was kept the momentum going.
We're both Gen X. We ran out of fucks back in the 90s.
Oh my.
Agreed.
I love hearing this stuff. I love the perspective. Yeah, this weekend update was great. Again, Anya looking very smart as usual in a purple necktie and a purple blazer. And then her hair is, I don't think it's purple, but the lights on her are a little bit purple, but everything looks great. Everything looks tight and right. I love it. It's such a visual treat for me. And Patty too has a very unique look. His hair is very unique. So at the very base level, I'm visually very interested in Weekend Update on SNL UK. There was another condom joke that Anya gave. Like, I can't wait for the excuses I just can't wait for the excuses. Like, oh, it's not me, baby. It's a straight to Hormuz. That's where my condom. Like, that was funny. And then Patty made a condom joke, which I thought was so funny. Like you noticed before, Deej. I have a penis shortage. Oh my God, that's so funny. So when I want Hand in Hand, I got to say there's very much a big brother. Like, why are you here? This is get out. But when he did the Mick Jagger impression, that was so perfect. A cultural exchange of impressions. Jimmy's Mick Jagger and Patty's Trump. That's what comedy's for. Really pleased to see it. And Anya was adorable with the quacking. And the woman who can't be ignored, for the first time I watched that episode, I wasn't paying attention to the setup. And I was like, is she just coming out here and yelling? Like, okay. But when they said that she's not getting the right kind of attention at the HSS, that's just such a relatable thing. If women don't get, that's universally, I don't know about anywhere else, but in the US, women don't get diagnosed for years longer than men. They say it's anxiety. You need to not be depressed. That's the problem. You need to lose some weight. When was your last period? That's what they focus on, and not, I've been in this weird pain. I know my body, something's wrong. It's been like this for 5 years and nothing helps. Well, maybe you're stressed out about it, and that's why it's happening. So that's like a common thing. So I really was rooting for the woman who can't be ignored, and she just had some banger quips and like shouts that she was saying, some references, but her delivery is just so good that she rightfully commands your attention, and I'm here for it.
Yes, that is a very common problem because there's never been a lot of research into women's health specifically. That's helping more and more. And there's doctors, I see all these stories online where the only thing they can say is like, I could go in for a broken ankle, and they say, well, maybe you just lost some weight. What was the other part of that? And it's even worse for women of color.
100%.
There's this long-standing myth from back in the olden days, the very, very old bad days, where they didn't believe that black women or black people felt pain as much as white people do, which is stupid and false. So it's something that has to improve all over the place. So, but She's the best person to bring it to us, I believe. Pilot emergency. A flight attendant needs someone who knows how to land a plane to save her from crashing. And all the men feel like they can do it, despite not having a prior experience. This involves an entire cast, save for the Weekend Update pair, with a appearance by Dave Grohl. Grohl is very famous for always being game to appear in different sketches. One of the things I remember from the digital shorts, punching people just as they're eating. But it's all these men saying, we can fly a plane, and they can't, especially when Dave comes in and says, well, I did do a song called Learn to Fly. But as it turns out, the character is played by George Fouracres. This was all a ploy to get his wife back. So he was waiting to get a plane, get into trouble, and so he'd save the day, but not realizing that, hey, I don't actually know how to land this thing. Not my favorite of the night. I had some interesting moments. Love a Dave Grohl sketch appearance. But yeah, it was a piffle.
Ditto. Total piffle. My least favorite of the night. It just felt very flat. I did like Dave's little one-liner about his learn to fly. That was pretty funny. But other than that, I totally agree. Complete and utter piffle.
I think it's a little bit above piffle, if I may say. And this is my case. Okay. Now, the consider the sketch is like, first of all, let's find someone who can fly a plane. And then they start, there's one guy, he's like, well, I drove a jet ski once. And like, well, that's pretty good. And so whenever there's a group of guys and they're making fun of a group of guys who thinks they can transfer their skills from a very pedestrian activity to a very grand activity, like flying a plane, that is so real. I've seen that. Those conversations are real. They happen. And, you know, men think they could beat a gorilla. What was that thing like last year? 100 men versus a gorilla. And so how many men think they can actually win? Like a lot. So I really love sketches that play with that on SNL UK or SNL. So right off that, I thought that was really funny. I wish they'd like gone more into, because they did the same similar thing with Nate Bargatze in the airplane sketch. He had like in terms of real stuff, like I'm a teacher. Okay, in terms of real stuff, that's funny. So it was very much in the spirit of that. And then a callback with Dave Grohl referencing the fact that he's referencing that he's been in plane sketches and within the Learning to Fly music video, which I must have seen 500 times freshman year because it was on a loop on VH1 and MTV when they still played music videos, like past midnight.
Foo Fighters and drag. How could you not love it?
Foo Fighters and drag, Pat Smear, dressed up as pilots. They're playing different roles. Great song. That was like, when did that come out? 98? That was just like, show me that video and I'll be 1998 immediately. Great. All of that. Oh, I forgot that Dave Grohl was in it though, because the musical interlude was immediately after, and then Nicola skips off to introduce him in her stewardess outfit.
Learn to Fly was released in October 18th, 1999. The next live sketch is called Hen Do Horror. So, for those who don't know, a hen do is basically a bachelorette party. After defeating a killer, two friends are confused when one of the people they invited shows up late, after everyone else has already died, which is played by Nicola Coughlan. So we have Jack Shep, Annabelle Marlowe, Larry Dean, Al Nash as the serial killer. We've all had those people that are chronically late. I hate people being late. I often get to things actually way too early because I'm afraid of being late, especially if it's a place I've never been before. There sometimes I'll even do a test run. I remember one time for a theater audition, I was making sure I'd try to find this place, but when it came going there evening was a bit harder because, well, dark. Just all of the excuses she kept coming up with for being late and not being there, and not, I mean, although one thing though, how could she really predict that there was a serial killer in the woods? But I like the place very similar to the kidnapping sketch in episode 2, where Al Nash as the killer comes up and said, it's like complains about, oh, I hate people being late. I say, I just want to kill you. But not the best sketch of the night. But Nicola Coughlan, the way she played it was excellent. Played very well off of Jack and Annabelle. So it was a good, it's definitely not a beginning of the show sketch, definitely a end of the show winding down sketch.
Definitely perfect at the end of the night. I liked it better than the airplane one before it. It was, again, Nicola was great here. Very fun. And the visual effects with the blood and the blood on the knives, very convincing. Everybody's on point here. Jack and Annabelle are great. So yeah, and it, those Hindus, they can end in calamity. So we all hear stories. Anyways, this was perfectly fine for the end of the night. Definitely a bit above piffle.
So I think unless there's another one, and I take my words back. I think this is my favorite of the night because I love it when SNL combines a really perfectly workable sketch situation and overlays it onto like a really complicated one. So like serial killers killing people, there's blood everywhere. That I don't know how that's really not even funny, really, when you think about it, really. But somebody being late and then like unapologetic about it, that's really funny. So I wish they developed it a little bit more, and like kept the conversation really petty, but that was taken really seriously because I like it. I really like it when they do that because she's just like oblivious to the fact that she's in front of people that were murdered and her friends were fighting off murderers for all the time she was gone, and she like acknowledges it and then moves on completely and talks about the movie she was watching and that she actually wasn't even trying not to be late, which I think I've said before on different previous critiques that I wish I could have that level of abandon because I'm always late to everything, despite my very best intentions. Somebody once said that's being an eternal optimist, which I'm really more on board with than a procrastinator. So it really reminded me of certain sketches. I think they did a couple where Sarah Sherman played a very typical like Gen Z, like, and I own it, like doing something really horrific that like crashed a spaceship or something. She's like, was that me? Well, I own it. That's on me, guys. So it was very much in a similar vein. I kind of wish they'd stuck with like one theme and her like oblivious and being staunchly denying that she did anything wrong. But you can't do it too much because then she looks like a psycho and it takes her out of the sketch. So I thought they did a really good job with really elaborate costuming and prop work. And then she comes in just completely disregarding reality. And that, for me, that was a treat.
We cap off the night with another 45 seconds of 4 Acres.
Apples and oranges, raspberries, watermelon and kiwi fruit, mangoes and blueberries and loads of grapes, and Epstein didn't kill himself. Green the field that's full of corn, lit by the light of an English morn, daffodils bloom at the sky at dawn, and Epstein didn't kill himself. Potatoes and carrots and peas and yams, Epstein didn't kill himself. Cauliflower, zucchini flowers, Epstein didn't kill himself. Sing God's praise for the day he's made, the land and the sea to the world he gave, for killing the twat who stood to gain. From saying his name, we must refrain. Rocket and spinach and Cavalonero. Epstein didn't kill himself. Red sky at night, shepherd's delight. Epstein did not kill himself.
I think this is like the deep thoughts of SNL UK. And so he's singing a song that seems to be about fruit and veg and daffodils, and then he goes in with Epstein didn't kill himself. Perfect cap tonight. If they end every episode for 45 seconds from 4 Acres, I would love that. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but George 4 Acres, I just love him so much because he always puts so much joy into his characters. George, please do more. I love you.
Oh, the perfect way to end the night. I would love to see these at the end of every episode. I agree, Deej. He is definitely one of my favorites as well. And I like that, he usually does very British or very European because he did that How Irish Is Your Grandpa. The first one was so very European, and then this one is definitely has American bend to it with Epstein. And I thought that was an interesting juxtaposition. And it just shows you that he can do any topic. And he can make something as disgusting as this whole Epstein awfulness really funny. And he can do it in 45 seconds. So, yeah, this was a perfect way to end the night.
I gotta say, SNL UK's version of a Jack Handy of Deep Thoughts, geez, that is that's so good. I think 45 Seconds of 4 Acres is so punk rock. I love it because he is just like, fuck you. To hear Epstein didn't kill himself in a song form, I almost couldn't believe my ears. That would never happen on SNL US for so many reasons. It just wouldn't happen. So I don't know if it's because they're new and they're trying stuff out, or if this is emblematic of British comedy. I don't know, but I was so here for it. The audience was like, it sounded like they were like praying they would get to see one, and they did, and they were like kind of freaking out. I really liked hearing the crowd reaction to his starting into it, and he did not disappoint. He's really talented, and he gives it everything, and he's talking about stuff that is like, you can get away with it in song, but you can't get away with it quite the same in any other medium. So I'm glad they're giving it to him. I'm glad he's giving it to us. It's all good stuff.
And that is the end of the show. I love this episode. Nicola was absolute perfection. While some of the later sketches didn't always quite work, they were still good quality. And none of the sketches took up too much time. They did exactly what they needed to do. The bag organizer, or the big clump, so relatable. Speaking about how I'm going to rate this, I'm going to give this 9 piffles because I really, really like this show. She's such a beautiful woman, such an awesome host. One of these days I gotta watch Dairy Girls because I know that's supposed to be very, very funny. I have become a Nicola Coughlan fan.
I love Nicola as well. She was definitely my favorite host, I think, of the 8. But that episode fell a little short for me. The end of the show, those last couple episodes were sort of a disappointment. So I'm not as high as Deej, but I'm going to go a little bit higher than I originally was because talking it out with you two off sometimes changes my mind a bit. So I'm going to go with 7 piffles.
Oh, interesting. I was going to say 8 because I thought it was structured really well. And I thought the host, like we said in the beginning, she played a variety of roles. Sometimes she was more ensemble. Sometimes she was the star. But I noticed we didn't really bring up her performance specifically in all the sketches. But she brought a lot of energy. So maybe she could have been a cast member. Like John likes to separate certain hosts when he's doing like a retrospective analyses. So maybe she could have been a cast member because she seemed really down to clown in whatever area that she was required in. And it all worked. She knew what she was doing for sure.
We are back in 2 weeks with the next episode 6 of SNL UK. So from all of us at SNL Ladies, I would encourage you, and trust me, after the week I've had, I really need this. Go forth and find the funny.
Funny is hope.
Saturday Night Ladies is a presentation of Wacky Notion Productions. Hosted by Deej Behrens, Shari Fesco, and Demi Constantine. Recorded and edited by Deej Behrens. Off-week show research by Shari Fesco. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, just email SaturdayNightLadies1978@gmail.com. And as always, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for listening.